Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. We are here in Catalunya of round 8 of our Moto 2 World Championship. So of course we are here in career mode, here in Montmello, Barcelona, here in Catalunya. One of my most favourite tracks in the Grand Prix calendar. I adore this track, and of course the magnificent finish last time out in Mugello. Seems fitting to move over to Catalunya and try and do something similar, or do one better, here today. So of course, if you aren't aware of the usual Dr. Race styles of these videos, we'll start off with the qualifying session here today at 4 PM, and then tonight at 8 PM we will have the Grand Prix itself. So of course, trailing behind Tony Arbolino now, going into the difficult turn 4, somewhat of an innocuous corner. It feels like you can go in there with quite a lot of speed, but once you actually enter that corner, it does get rather difficult to maintain a nice amount of speed. Braking quite early now for turn 5, caught out a lot of riders in the pass. Many riders have crashed out in there, including myself many times, even online or even in the video game itself, just playing against the AI. But we go into the left-hander of the TV3, turn 7, still trailing behind the Liquimoli in-type rider, Tony Arbolino. Of course, in his second season in Moto 2, hoping for better results. He had a decent result last time out, or would have had a decent result, let's say, until he was taken out inadvertently by Marco Bezzecchi as we get a little bit out of shape there on the rumble strip. Now, unfortunately, you are going to see that a couple of times. I had a terrible amount of time of getting it right on the brakes. Now, I don't know whether it's just me, but I have also heard a few murmurings from a few other players. There's a little bit of an issue with the sense of feeling since the update. I had the same sort of issue, but I also found out it was a little bit of an issue by myself, so let me explain. First and foremost, I found that the dead zone on the controller had changed quite a lot. When I checked my Steam settings, it seemed that the Xbox controller was enabled. Now, why that is important is because I use a DualShock 4, and the dead zone on a PS4 controller is very much different to the Xbox One controller. So therefore, it was giving me the same dead zone what an Xbox One controller has, and to be honest with you, I didn't realise that till the end of this entire Grand Prix weekend. So you are going to see me look a little bit out of shape here and there, because I couldn't quite get the same amount of speed and the same amount of manoeuvrability, the nimbility as we created in Ride 4 with this Xbox One controller preset, if you will. But also I do feel, because I changed it back and I corrected it and it's now back to the PS4 controller, it still did feel a little bit off. Now, I don't know if this is because I've been playing so much of Rims Racing and I've been playing a lot more Ride 4 once again, and even of course MXGP and Monster Energy Supercross 4. Whether all those games playing together is just maybe affecting my skill on MotoGP 21, I'm not too sure. But right now, that's something to mention because you are going to see me make a couple of mistakes in today's video, because I didn't feel 100% confident with this Calyx, this motorcycle right here today. As we go into the Europe car for the very first time, didn't manage to get here last time, so of course we made a mistake going into the brakes, into La Caixa, and now we go across the line, across the timing line. We do go 16th, not too bad. We are one position behind Jake Dixon, our teammates. Actually, changed that now because we have dropped down to 17th. We are 0.05 of a second behind teammate Jake Dixon. No sign of Xavi Vierge on the left-hand side of the screen as of yet, but I'm certain we can improve on our time right now, and we are doing that just now by going into turn 3, 0.3 of a second up compared to Augusto Fernandez time of a 1:46.060. So you've got Augusto Fernandez a little bit out of shape once again onto turn 4. That has completely scuppered of our chances of improving in this lap, and we're going to get very close to the barrier. Oh, carnage! So I have taken a gamble and I have decided to end practice there, and we'll move on to qualifying. I very much doubt we'll survive this one. I think we're going over to qualifying 1, so see you there for qualifying 1. Augusto Fernandez is fastest with Lorenzo Baldassari and Marco Bezzecchi in 3rd place. So the time has passed and it is now qualifying day. It is rather cloudy here in Montmello, but I am ready for the challenge of Catalunya. I am ready to try and battle it out with a couple of riders here, with a lot of riders actually, for a position in Q2. So we have to be on our A game, we have to be on our ace game to get through into qualifying 2 here. We didn't do anything in them practice sessions. The controller was still a little bit messed up and I didn't feel confident at all. Hopefully we can sort of get some feeling into this one and change it up and hopefully get into qualifying 2. I'm rather confident in our belief and rather confident in our approach that we can get into qualifying 2 without too much hiccups. However, there's still a challenge on our hands, and that is what we're going to have to face today. Adversity is once again staring Dr. Ace in the face, and how will we respond? Will we respond laughing in the face of adversity, or will we suffer and crumble? I'm pretty certain it won't be the latter. Now, going into turn 5 onto the left-hand side of the tyre, we're going to be giving an extra bit of oomph coming out of the corner with power setting 3, as we then drop it into the left-hander of turn 7, the TV3. Nice tight apex there, but we get a little bit out of shape going on the rumble strip. That was the issue I was having with the dead zone in the controller. I used the analog stick so gently, so smoothly, and I just couldn't move it. I was pushing it, and it just wasn't moving because the dead zone on the Xbox style controller, and we make another mistake going into Lakaisha. That was a 8/10 of a second lap. We were quicker than Simone Corsi's time right now. That would have been more than enough to get us into qualifying 2, but unfortunately mistakes were made, and now it's back to the drawing board once again. Nonetheless, we will continue though and finish this lap because it's still a decent lap, and we want to understand where we are going to be compared to the likes of Simone Corsi, Barry Baltis and Somkiat Chantra in 3rd place right now. Of course, I don't think those are going to be the 3 men in qualifying 2. I do think there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing, but right now Grant does go top with a 1:46.702. I certainly don't think that lap time is going to stand, and it's now time for turn 1 to tackle it once again as we get a little bit onto the rumble strip and make another hash of another lap. What a waste once again. Another lap time scribbled on a note of paper and thrown into the bin because that is another mistake coming in from the Moto2 World Championship leader. This is unacceptable, being 1.6 seconds down to Aaron Canet right now, but we have found a very eager Italian ahead of us, Celestino Vietti, currently occupying 4th place, who will go into qualifying 2, has a very determined Dr. Ace behind him. This could be perfect for us, guys. We are going to use Celestino as a perfect reference as we go into turn 4. Nice tight apex there. We'll try and follow, mimic his lines as much as we can do. Celestino Vietti, one of my favourite riders. I do hope he can get us both through into qualifying 2. I don't really want to break his heart and kick him back down to qualifying 1. We haven't seen Celestino Vietti as his best, although in Mugello he was something else, so hoping he's got a bit of momentum on his side right now as we go into the left-hander of TV3, chuck it to the right for turn 8, a little bit out of shape on the acceleration there, I gave a little bit too much, but going on the right-hand side for turn 9, very innocuous corner as well, difficult to get to maintain a nice amount of speed into that corner and get the bike in there correctly, but Vietti has dropped to 6th place, mustn't touch the rumble strip this time. Going onto the left-hand side for Lakaisha, very tight apex there. Getting onto the rear of the Sky VR46 Kalex, very close now to Celestino Vietti. We do have 30 seconds of this session remaining, which will be more than enough to get across the line and go for it once again. But for the time being, we're already up by 1.7 seconds to Ayagora's time of 1:44.996. So this should be more than enough to get us through into qualifying 2. Onto the right-hand side we go for the Europe car. Now get into the slipstream with Celestino Vietti, get across the timing line, and the time is going to be a 1:45.001. So Grant just barely gets himself in at the death. Ayagora fastest man. He'll be joining Grant, Canet and Jake Dixon up into qualifying 2. So as Q1 ends, Q2 starts, and we have seen the 4 best riders of qualifying 1 enter the best stage, the qualifying 2 stage, with all of the best riders battling it out for pole position. Now, I'm not sure we can get pole position, but I do feel if we can get some sort of consistency going, we might be able to put a good charge in for a potential front row start. If we can get onto the 3rd row at the very least, I would be pretty happy with that. Damage limitations is what I would call this qualifying session, so not too bad in the terms of at least we made it through to qualifying 2. Starting further beyond 18th is going to be rather difficult, especially in a track such as tight and twisty as Montmello. It's very doable at the same time because Catalunya is a great track. It's somewhat one of my favourites. I could probably do it, but with the controller not feeling right, the update has changed something. Whether it's the controller, I don't know, but it doesn't feel right. The controller doesn't feel good. I don't feel confident, but at the same time, we're just going to go 110%. We have used a lot of tyres this weekend as well, which is quite a concern. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll just, as long as we save a medium, maybe a hard, potentially a soft for the race, we should be alright. But going into Lokaisha now, the rear tyre, that soft rear tyre looking worse for wear as we go very, very wide going into turn 10. A lot of riders getting caught out with that. The brand new layout, of course, for turn 10. As we get into the right-hand side now for turn 11. Not much fuel left either, so we'll probably have to call it quits after this particular lap. And that rear tyre certainly needs to go and have a bath somewhere because it is hot. It is major, major on fire right now. As we get onto the right-hand side for the Europe car once again. Keep it nice and tight on the exit so we don't touch the rumble strip. Full acceleration with power setting 3, and across the timing line we will go, and it's a 1:45.635. Pretty decent lap there from Grant, but when Sam Lowe's chucks in a 1:44.880, you know you're in for a bad time. The fellow Brit, the man from Lincoln, is just chucking in lap times that are just way too fast for us. Augusto Fernandez right behind him there. He's got a red sector. In fact, make that double red sectors with Bo Benschneider in third place with an orange sector himself. Good to see Bo Benschneider fighting it with the best of them once again, who has been immediately replaced by Fabio Di Gianantonio. Now Grant is on a red sector himself onto the right hand side for turn 4. We do have Cameron Beaubier behind us. Cameron Beaubier, big shout out to him for helping us out in qualifying last time out in Mugello. He was a big saviour when we struggled in the qualifying session as well. We do run it a little bit wide into turn 5. Once again we find ourselves in 17th position, trailing behind Jake Dixon. Now going into turn 7 we have a 32 thousandths of a second gap to Sam Lowe's right now. Marco Bezzecchi on a fast lap. Augusto Fernandez, you can say they're very much the same for him as well. He's lost a little bit of time in the third sector, however, he's still very, very quick through those first 2 sectors, just like Grant was. But going into Lokaisha is going to be another challenge for the Petronas SRT man as he ran it a little bit wide. He has indeed. You'll see how much time we lose by running it wide into Lokaisha. It is so difficult to try and maintain a good amount of speed going into that corner. I'll probably get better as the weekend progresses, but considering this is qualifying, we really need to improve right now, not any later. The right-hand side of that rear tyre is looking the worse for wear. It is not looking good at all. Not looking too hot as we get onto the right-hand side for the Europe car. Once again, turn 13, the final corner here in Catalunya. Charging down the back straight and across the timing line we will go. It's a 1:45.268 for the Moto 3 World Champion. A pretty damn decent lap, if I do say so myself, getting us up into those third row with 0.4 of a second behind Sam Lowe's. But watch out, guys and gals, for the number 22 on the Elfmart VDS riding Kalex, Sam Lowe's, with 2, make that 3 red sector time so far. He is on an astounding lap time right now, and he could be decimating the lap record right here. There's not a chance we're going to be anywhere near him if this continues. We're down by 0.3 of a second as it is already, which certainly isn't going to cut the mustard. We'll continue to do our best, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near. I don't think anyone's going to be challenging him. Remy Gardner's on a good lap, and the same can be said for the most underrated man in Moto 2, Marcel Schrotter. He seems to have disappeared from the timing screens now, so I'm guessing he went up in the position, which we just can't see because he's probably a lot better than we are right now. 0.2 of a second down to our own time right now, so it certainly won't be an improvement for the Moto 3 World Champion, but Remy Gardner still in 8th place as things stand. No sign of Raul Fernandez right now. We do have Joe Roberts just ahead of us on track right now. We did manage to set the exact same lap time, so identical lap times coming in for the American and the British riders. Grant gets a little bit out of shape there going into Lokaisha, and I'm not surprised looking at that rear tyre. Grant's pulled out of this one. There's not going to be any improvement on that one, but right now it is the final chance for Grant. Can he get the job done now? He's going to be trailing behind Aaron Canet. He's in 15th place. He needs to improve. Grant's in 10th place. He needs to improve. What do we have left? I've had to just completely cool down the tyre because this is our last tyres left. I'm trying to save one soft, one medium and one hard for the race just in case the temperatures change, whatever it's going to be. I don't know yet. So we're going to go full acceleration and just absolutely go for it. Going into turn 4, it doesn't look like we're going to improve here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to do everything we can, getting right behind Aaron Canet, but that rear tyre is really letting us down. We've made the choice to stick with that soft option rear, and it is backfired, I think. We might not even have enough fuel to finish this lap either. This is not looking too promising, I'll be honest with you guys. But trailing in behind Aaron Canet, we have the left-hander here for TV3. Getting a little bit out of shape, but it's over. Grant's over. He will be starting from 10th place. That's the best he can do. And that is it. Session over. Sam Lowe's absolutely impervious here today in qualifying. He leads the way with a 1:44.834. Augusto Fernandez, his teammate, joins him on the front row with Marco Bezzecchi. Grant will be qualifying from 10th place. So guys, as always, thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you tonight at 8 PM for the Grand Prix. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload. And upon that note guys, thank you for watching, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now, with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dot Race video.